Hello, and welcome to another episode of TASC Mathematics. Today we're going to continue the Plug and Chug series. I've done two series now, and this series is on if you have to find or is given a point, coordinate, or ordered pair. Now, all three of these mean the same thing. So you have a point, my pen doesn't seem to write today. Coordinate or ordered pair. Now remember, a point has an x value and a y value. And if I give you, let's say, a point which is 2, 5, it just means that x represents your 2 and y is your 5. So in this first example, the question states, find the point. So they're asking us to find a point, that's your keyword, of intersection of the two lines. Now here are your lines. Your lines are equations. You're given 4 answer choices, and we're going to use plug and chug. So we're going to start with the first line, which is 2x minus y equals to 13. We're going to see if our answer is A. So we're going to plug in the value for x, which is -3, take away y, which has a value of 5, and hoping that when we chug away using PEMDAS, we get 13. Now we have multiplication and subtraction, so multiplication is first. 2 times -3 is -6, take away 5. A little trick that I use, when it looks like the negatives are following each other, your answer is negative, and just add the 6 and the 5. That gives you 11. And I know that -11 does not equate to 13. So my answer is not A. Okay, using the same first equation, but we're going to try point B, hoping to get 13. Now here our x is -1 and our y is 6. 2 times -1 is -2, take away 6. Now I know that will not give me 13. The negative, oh, that's a 6. The negatives look like they're following each other, so my answer is negative, and when you add 2 and 6, you get 8. -8 does not equate to 13, so my answer is not B. Okay, let's try point C. So we have 2x minus y, hoping to get 13 if we use the 0.53. So 2 times 5, take away -3. This looks promising. 2 times 5 is 10, take away -3. Now remember, these two neighboring negatives come together and actually form a positive. And yes, 10 plus 3 is 13. The left equals the right. Now to actually confirm that C is our answer, I'm going to use the second equation because I have 2 of them. So please use your second equation to confirm. So we have 4x has a value of 5 plus my y is -3, and I'm hoping to get 17. 4 times 5 is 20 plus -3. That looks promising. When the signs are different, perform a subtraction. Keep the sign the larger number, so 17 equals to 17. The left equals the right. So my answer is C. So whenever you're given 2 equations, start with the first one. If it doesn't work, move on. However, if it does work, like what happened here with C, to confirm that it is your answer, please use the second equation. Let's take a look at another example. Now, this one states which set of coordinates. So again, coordinates is another word for point or ordered pair. And then they're using a keyword from the previous plug and chug video, solution. And also they have the word equation. And you have 4 points. So we're going to take our equation, which is 2x minus y equals to 11. And we're going to plug in to see which one would equate, which is our answer. So if we start with -6, 1, so that's 2 times -6, and I'm taking away 1, and I'm hoping to get 11. I'm going to use my calculator to help me out. So in the calculator, I'm going to put in how I actually wrote it on my scrap paper. Well, for me, this is scrap paper. Okay, when I hit enter, I get -13. So it does not equate. So my answer is not 1. Okay, let's try 1, actually negative 1 comma 9. So I have 2, I'm going to replace the x by negative 1, and I'm going to take away 9, hoping to get 11. So notice this is how you use your calculator when you're on the TASC test. So always write your equation, do your substitution, and then from there just plug into the calculator. Notice I'm not clearing my screen as well. Okay, so that gives me negative 11, does not equal positive, so it did not work for number 2. Okay, moving on to 3, which is 0 comma 11. So we have 2 times 0, take away 11, hoping to get 11. All right, let's plug that in. 2 times 0. And I'm taking away 11. And I hit enter. Wow, that gave me negative 11. So it did not equate. So my answer is not 3. So by default, my answer is 4. But to prove that your answer is 4, let's do the substitution. Let's see what happens. We're hoping to get 11. So here's my calculator again. So I have 2 times 2, take away, and I think it's a negative 7. Well, not I think, I know. And there you go. You got the positive 11. So your answer is 4. So 2 times negative 7 is your solution. Let's take a look at another example. So here, notice they state which ordered pair. Again, ordered pair is another word for point or coordinates. And then here they're using the word solution of the equation. And you have 2x plus 3y. And hoping that gives you negative 7. Okay, we're going to use our calculator again for this one. So starting with a, we're going to plug in negative 5 for x and 4 for y. We're hoping to get negative 7. Okay, I'm going to clear my calculator because this is a new problem. So I have 2 times my negative 5. And then I'm going to add 3, which is multiplying by 4. And I get a value of 2. So it did not work for A. So A is not my answer, did not equate. Okay, we're going to move on to B. So we have 2, now x has a value of 4, plus 3, and your y is negative 6. And I'm hoping that gives me negative 7. Okay, let's take our calculator. So we have 2 times 4, and we're going to add 3 times our negative 6. And we hit enter. Notice I got negative 10, not negative 7. Does not equal, so my answer is not B. Okay, let's try C, which is your x is 4, so that's 2 times 4, plus 3, your y is negative 5, and you're hoping to get negative 7. Okay, so let's go. 2, and then in parentheses, we have 4, close the parentheses, then we're going to add 3, which is multiplying by negative 5, and hit enter. We got negative 7. So it actually worked for C. So C is our answer. That wasn't so bad. Let's try another example. Okay, this one's different. This example states which linear equation represents a line containing the point. So here we are given a point 1, 3. And our answer choices are 4 equations. So we're going to start with our answers, which is an equation. So let's start with the first one, which is x plus 2y equals to 5. So I'm not going to use a calculator here. Remember, the TASC test is 2 parts, so you have to practice doing math with the calculator and without the calculator. So we're going to plug in x is 1 plus 2, your y is 3. Is that going to give us 5? Doesn't look so. This is actually 1 plus 2 times 3 is 6. And 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 does not equate to 5. So our answer is not 1. Okay, here we're going to move on to the second line, which is x minus 2y equals to 5. So I know my x is 1. Take away 2. Y is 3. Is that going to give us 5? This is actually 1 minus 6. Now I know 1 minus 6 is negative 5. Negative 5 does not equate to positive 5. So my answer is not 2. Moving on to the third equation, which is 2x plus y equals to 5. So remember, we're using the same point over and over. So x is 1 plus y is 3. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3. Yep, 2 plus 3 is 5. The left is equate to the right. So my line is the third one. 2x plus y equals to 5. Now notice when they did not equals, that meant that the point was not on the line. So that occurred here for the first equation and the second equation. When we plugged in the point, the left and the right did not equate. However, with the third equation, both sides were the same, and that meant that the point is on the line for this one. Good luck on your TASC examination.